So let's talk about folic acid. But this isn't just a boring health lesson. This is really the story of a public health superhero, a simple vitamin that saved countless lives, but it also has a pretty dangerous secret. Let's dig in. Okay, let's start with its most famous heroic act. What if I told you one of the biggest public health wins of the last century came down to a single, simple vitamin? I mean, what could possibly have that much power?
Well, the answer, of course, is folic acid. And its number one mission, its most celebrated success, is in the fight against a really devastating group of birth defects.
This right here, this is its superpower. You see, even before conception and in those very first few weeks of pregnancy, folic acid is absolutely crucial for forming the neural tube. That's the structure that eventually becomes the baby's brain and spinal cord. If there's not enough of it, the results can be just catastrophic. Defects like spina bifida. It's such a simple preventative measure, but its impact is just profound.
And the dose required to be a hero? It's incredibly small, just 400 micrograms a day. That's the standard recommendation for any woman who could become pregnant. It's honestly one of the most effective preventative health measures we have. It just goes to show how a tiny amount can make a world of difference.
Okay, so we know what it does, but how does it actually pull it off? To really get its power, we have to kind of peek under the hood at the science of how this vitamin gets to work inside our bodies.
First things first, there's a key distinction we gotta make. Folic acid is the manufactured, stable version of a natural vitamin called folate, or B9. The stuff you find in leafy greens. But here's the crucial difference. This synthetic version is actually easier for our bodies to absorb and use. You could almost call it a man-made improvement on nature.
So, think of folic acid like the foreman of a construction crew inside our cells. It's not the bricks or the lumber itself, but it's that crucial master key that turns on the machinery to build the literal building blocks of our DNA. Without it, you just can't build new cells properly, which of course is why it's so incredibly vital during periods of rapid growth, like in a developing fetus.
Its journey through the body is actually pretty efficient. It gets absorbed, sent out where it needs to go, and then the liver converts it into its active form so it can get to work. And because it's water-soluble, your body just gets rid of any extra it doesn't need. Simple as that.
But here's the thing. Preventing birth defects is just folic acid's origin story. This vitamin is way more versatile. It has a whole expanded universe of other really important uses.
Yeah, beyond pregnancy, it's got several other key jobs. It's used to correct a very specific type of anemia that's caused by not having enough folate. And for people taking a powerful drug called methotrexate, it kind of acts like a shield, protecting them from some of its toxic side effects. It also helps lower something called homocysteine, which is an amino acid that's been linked to heart disease risk.
Okay, so far it's all heroic, right? But every superhero has a weakness, a vulnerability. And for folic acid, it is a critical one that everyone really needs to understand. Honestly, this is the most important part of our explainer today. Irreversible neurological damage. Just let that phrase sink in for a minute. This is the hidden danger. While folic acid is busy being the hero, it can accidentally allow a totally different problem to cause permanent harm. Okay, so here's the problem. A lack of folate and a lack of vitamin B12 can both cause the exact same type of anemia. If you take folic acid, it'll fix that anemia and you'll feel better. But here's the trap. Only the B12 deficiency also causes permanent nerve damage. So by fixing the anemia, the symptom you can feel, you've accidentally hidden the warning sign for a much deeper problem, allowing that neurological damage to just silently get worse and worse.
This right here is the single most important takeaway. Before anyone starts high doses of folic acid to treat anemia, a doctor has to check their vitamin B12 levels first. It's a simple blood test that can prevent a truly catastrophic, irreversible outcome. You've got to know the real root cause before you start treating the symptom.
So, with that really critical warning fresh in our minds, let's cover the final chapter, the practical user manual for how to use this powerful tool safely and effectively.
Like any active substance, it can interact with other drugs. It can actually lower the levels of certain seizure medications, which is obviously a serious concern. We already mentioned its helpful interaction with methotrexate, which is a good thing. And then some other drugs, like sulfasalazine, can actually block your body from absorbing folic acid in the first place.
Now, I know we just talked about that really serious warning, but it's important to be clear. For most people, folic acid is incredibly safe. Side effects are really rare and usually just minor things. The danger isn't from the vitamin itself, it's from using it to accidentally cover up a problem you don't even know you have.
So where does that leave us?
Folic acid is without a doubt a hero. Its role in preventing birth defects is a genuine modern medical miracle. But it also carries this profound responsibility. It demands our respect and it demands our understanding. Which kind of leaves us with one final question. Knowing both its incredible power and its hidden danger, are we truly using it as wisely as we should be?